Our last two awards this morning will both be presented by our wonderful Sheriff, Kevin Rambosk, Law Enforcement, and the Award for Life and Safety Support. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. First, I'd like to recognize the previous recipients. Congratulations. Thank you to all of you and those out in the field this morning, keeping us safe all the time in public safety. You know, I'm going to talk first about one of the areas that nobody really wants to talk about because we don't want to see our families there, we don't want to see our children there, and the detectives that have the responsibility to investigate these cases have a very, very difficult time. The detectives in our Special Investigations Unit are dedicated and have the responsibility of sometimes investigating those heartbreaking investigations. These crimes include abductions of children, missing persons, child abuse, neglect, and sexual assaults. I'm pleased to share with you two of many, many cases that have been investigated by our recipient this morning, Special Investigations Unit Detective Scott Peterson. Fortunately, in each of these cases that I'll overview for you, we had happy outcomes. In May of this year, two Golden Gate teenagers were missing and believed to be in the company of a man who they met on the internet. It's the usual story. Our young people get involved with people they don't know, and they find out much too late that they are involved with someone they don't want to know. Detective Peterson got the investigation, quickly determined that there was a problem, quickly found out that the subject's name was Ivan, and that he potentially resided in Park Hills, Missouri, which was well out of our jurisdiction by this time. With all the information that he found and believing the girls were in danger, Detective Peterson contacted the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and asked that an Amber Alert be issued. And you might not realize, but Amber Alerts are not automatic. There are investigative criteria that's got to be met before they'll be able to be used in the system. Detective Peterson worked with multiple agencies, multiple states, exchanging information and following leads. He was finally able to convince FDLE to issue an Amber Alert. He obtained cell phone records which indicated the subjects were last seen on Interstate 24 in Kentucky. Detective Peterson alerted officers there with the Paducah Police Department, and they actually observed a vehicle which they stopped. The suspect was ultimately charged by the Paducah Police Department with 2 counts of child interference, and the girls were reunited with their families. One happy case. And I ran through that in 2 minutes, but this took days to put together. The other case took place in January of this year when an Immokalee father went to his 2-year-old daughter's bedroom around 11 p.m. and discovered that she was not there. Can you imagine the sense of the family responding public safety officers and, of course, the detectives that have to come into that scene? The case was assigned to Detective Peterson. Detective Peterson requested and was granted, based on the circumstances he presented, an Amber Alert from FDLE. He called the activation of the Child Abduction Response Team, which we do when we need assistance. They flooded the area with resources. Throughout the night, Detective Peterson, along with more than 100 people from 20-plus agencies, canvassed the pastures, the woods, the surrounding homes. Helicopters with spotlights circled. On the ground, we had ATVs, foot searches, vehicle searches, and shortly after 9 a.m. on the 14th, she was found alive in a field not too far from her original location, about a half a mile. It was Detective Peterson's professionalism and law enforcement skills, his tireless efforts, that in not only these 2 cases, but in the dozens of cases that he successfully handles each and every year, that he is presented our Law Enforcement Officer for Distinguished Public Service. Now, The problem is, our detective is out of country today, and he's not with us. However, his son Trevor is here, and I just swore in Trevor last night as a member of our agency. I'd like to ask him to come up and receive his father's award.
Well, unfortunately, my father couldn't be here tonight, but I think he deserves a little bit of a break. It's my honor to accept this on his behalf, and I would like to thank everyone for his nomination. Thank you.